Yeah, so it's great. I've been like waiting for this for a long time. So I'd like to welcome you, Grant Harley. And if it's cool with you, we'll go straight into the bio.
Sure, thank you.
All right, cool. All right, so Dr. Grant Harley is an associate professor at the University of Idaho, where he runs the well-known Idaho Tree Ring Lab. His research covers a broad range of topics, but mostly involve using tree rings to provide knowledge of past climate and ecological conditions to help guide understanding of what is occurring or will occur in the future. His lab is filled with the best of the best scientists. This is because before joining the lab, all intrepid prospective grad students must first find Grant hiding in his mountainside cave dwelling, where he snuggles with his chainsaws and dog Lola. Grant, I thank you for coming back into town and finding Wi-Fi so we could have this chat. I've been looking forward to it for a long time. So yeah, it's good to see you.
That is hands down the best bio anyone has ever said. That's great.
Thank you. I do my research. I make sure I have only the facts, and that's all I report.
Right.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I dug deep there. Yeah.
No, seriously, thank you so much for having me on. I've obviously been watching all the fireside chats you've been doing.
Cool.
I think it's a fantastic, it's a brilliant idea. Yeah, so I'm really, really honored to be a part of it.
Thanks. That's great. Yeah. Well, I told you before, I hand select and absolutely take, people in line, because there are just so many good people that are doing good things. And yeah, the people that are on here are just such genuine and great people, and they do amazing work. And so it's really cool to be able to highlight both of those things, in one solid package. So yeah.
Thank you.
So thanks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So if you don't mind, we just start with who you are and what you do and kind of how you got into it, or any manner of any of that you want to talk about.
Right. Yeah. So I'm a native Floridian. So to end up here in northern Idaho is quite the journey.
Yeah.
But of course, I imagine all the rumors anyone has ever heard about Florida are 100% true. It's mainly composed of crazy people. I'm one of them. But no, so I grew up in Central Florida in a town called Lakeland. Just thinking about childhood, obviously loved outdoors, loved outside, went camping a lot. Did all those things. So I think that kind of eventually funneled me into geography. And so, I remember being an undergrad and, kind of bouncing around to, finance and, whatever other majors were out there that I kind of dabbled in. And finally, I took an intro to physical geography class, right? I think this is really aligned with so many other stories of people that I've heard is what got them into geography. And so, yeah, I found my way to geography, and that's what all my degrees are in. And so I did undergrad at University of South Florida in Tampa, which is interesting. And then went to undergrad and master's there, and then did a PhD at University of Tennessee, which I loved. Mainly reason because, the other running joke is everyone in Florida who lives there basically goes to, the Smoky Mountains for vacation or to see the leaves change,
Yeah.
So, kind of like living in my vacation spot for 4 years doing a PhD. And then my first job, I got super lucky and landed a faculty position right out of the box. After finishing with Tennessee, I was a professor for 5 years at University of Southern Mississippi. Absolutely loved my time there in Hattiesburg. People are just phenomenal, like some of the best people in the entire world. Great landscape there. And then this job opened up a couple of years ago and took a shot and got it. And so yeah, we're pleased to be here. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and you certainly hit the ground running there. I mean, that's how it seems. Did you have any students that kind of made that journey up north with you, or did you kind of start from scratch?
I did, yeah. So I had a master's student who was right in the middle of his program, James McGee, and I convinced him to move across country basically with my family and I. And so yeah, he moved here and finished his degree at Idaho, and now I think he's working out in California. on kind of some fire analysis on a fire crew.
Yeah, that's cool.
Doing well. So yeah.
Yeah. Is he the one that did that your lab did work with in the Sangre de Cristos?
Yes. Yeah. He did his master's.
Okay.
He was honestly one of the first in my lab to kind of dabble in blue light reflectance or blue intensity.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And so we had traveled to the Sangre de Cristo Mountains in northern New Mexico and grabbed a couple Engelmann spruce sites, and he kind of processed blue intensity for temperature for his thesis.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's a favorite spot of mine. Well, I grew up. I didn't grow up doing this, I guess, but because I was born in Oklahoma and lived most of my life in Oklahoma. But we would when we would take vacations, we'd go to Angel Fire, New Mexico, right. Which is in that mountain area, and yeah, I love it, and I still go out there. I went there twice this year, and I just love it. They're cool. I don't know. They just I think Karen was telling me that like somewhere in there is like the southernmost distribution for, was it Engelmann or some other species maybe?
Yeah, it's Engelmann kind of peters out. We were just in Sierra Blanca.
Okay.
So we were on Sierra Blanca proper. It's Mescalero land, but we were sort of near there, near the town of Ruidoso, New Mexico. So kind of like adjacent to White Sands National Monuments down there.
Yeah. That's cool.
Right. Yeah.
It's all beautiful. Like I that whole area is so cool. I mean,
it's my absolute favorite state. If a job opened up and I was offered it in anywhere in New Mexico, I would take it. There's something about the state that's grabbed me.
Yeah.
Since I first visited there, it really is the land of enchantment. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's an apt name for sure. Yeah, I've been in like southwest corner, kind of the center, and that north central area. I really love that area. It's cool. And then getting in, like you said, the monument, and then the White Sands. It's all pretty. It's amazing. Right. Okay, well, anyway, so that's kind of like the rundown of what you do and how do you kind of get into it. What are some things that kind of you've been most proud of, or that you have going on, or anything that you want to talk about? I've got plenty of questions after, but I just want to give you a chance to anything that you've been kind of had going on.
I guess right now the project I'm really enjoying the most is our efforts to create a network of temperature sensitive tree ring sites using blue intensity. And we've been real lucky and fortunate to get some funding for this effort. That's kind of what Karen Heater is doing as a part of her dissertation. She's kind of focusing on the Western U.S.
Okay.
And we have another project where we're looking at the Eastern U.S. But yeah, we're just kind of recently realized that blue intensity offers a really strong temperature signal in a lot of conifer species, both east and west of North America.
Yeah, that's really cool. So right. I know, like when Karen was on, she, did kind of a breakdown of what that entails, but can you kind of like, what is it about the temperature that, is able to be picked up by using blue light?
So
is it known? Sorry, that may be.
Right. So it's about the density. It's really blue intensity is really a proxy for density. And so like if, I'm sure people watching the video are real familiar with maximum latewood density, or MXD. That's kind of considered the gold standard of extracting a temperature signal from tree rings. But blue intensity, given it's a lot less tedious and laborious and a lot less expensive, it's kind of proving to be a real nice surrogate for MXD.
Okay, that's cool.
But and really the big surprise with that regard is eastern hemlock. If anyone's watching that is in the east and have some eastern hemlock, scan it and do blue light on it, because it's got a phenomenal temperature signal.
Wow.
And yeah, we kind of realized that about a year ago. In the Western U.S., Engelmann spruce and Western hemlock are really nice trees for it. But
yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's really neat. It's cool whenever you start something and then you realize, oh man, there's like applications over here, and then it kind of, I guess that's kind of how your research goes, doesn't it? It's just kind of like popcorn, against
Totally.
the next. Yeah, that's
That,
cool.
that, that honestly that's kind of how I've operated since, I've been a professor, is just kind of opportunistic, um, projects that kind of just fall in the lap and just kind of run with them and see what, comes out. So.
Yeah. Well, y'all put out a lot of good stuff already, and so that's cool. I mean, I'm glad they've fallen in your lap, or however. Right. I'm sure there's a lot of work that goes into getting them to do that, but yeah, right. That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So I do want to ask you about Native. The 30th one is coming up, right? The 30th annual. And if you want to talk about that, that'd be cool, because I know you're leading. I saw the flyer. It's on, right?
Right, it's on. Yeah, we just got we kind of made the advertising push this morning. But I know Jim Spears kind of been the face of Native for a long time now. I know he did a lot of work over this past years. We had to cancel it last year due to COVID, but he subsequently found a research facility it's right outside of Red Lodge, Montana. Just phenomenal facility. We've been to the Yellowstone area the past 4 or 5 years or so, but we've used a different facility. Of course, they're closed. This facility is new to us, and it looks really nice. There's a lot of COVID, safety measures that we'll be taking. All the information on the website being sent around, but we're extremely excited to be able to offer it this year, because I know everyone's been cooped up in houses,
yeah,
pandemic, and so I'm really looking forward to getting to the mountains.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah. And so I'll just, I'll make sure we link all this in the description and all that, so it's, easy to share from here as well. But for those that don't know, just for, if they're watching this, just want a brief whatever and don't want to dive into it. So NATIF is the North American Dendrochronological Field Week. Right. I think I got that right. And this year it's let me check. 1 second. July 21st through 30th. Right. And yeah, so that's cool. Like that's a great time to be in Yellowstone area. Yeah,
totally. And we'll be at about 10,000 feet elevation in the Beartooth Mountains. And yeah, really it's a workshop. It's about a 10-day workshop in the Yellowstone area. And of course, the model is the 30th one. But it's the typical model's been to kind of change the location of Native, East Coast, West Coast. But it's just happened to be in the Yellowstone area the past 5 years. But basically, it's a chance for, if it doesn't matter what your level is with regard to dendrochronology. If you've never counted tree rings before in your life, you can come and have a safe place to learn. So that's the one thing that I really like to harp on, is that I hear a lot of people that come, they're kind of like, I don't really know a lot. So they're kind of embarrassed. Well, everyone starts without knowing anything about any kind of scientific topic, right? And so it's a very welcoming atmosphere if you decide to come. So it's a great chance.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah. And I definitely, seeing the roster, seeing some of the names on it, again, these are awesome people running it. And I know a lot of work's been done to make sure, like you mentioned, this is a safe place in every way possible. Definitely sounds like an amazing opportunity. So yeah, if anybody's watching and hasn't gone, that's a great plug, and it definitely is something awesome to do. So yeah, that's cool. So I've got something to float by you, okay? Because you were started off, I guess I did, bringing up the Sangre de Cristos.
Right.
So I think we need to have a gathering, not a Native gathering, but we need to have a gathering of some people just to have like a nice short week or a long week and just have fun. And we could make it, an ecological week, or whatever, and just also have lots of fireside chats ourselves in person. So yeah, so kind of, I want to float that by you. So if you got any research topics or want to do some preliminary searching while you're out there, I've got a place we could put everybody up. So yeah, we could figure out something.
Maybe near Angel Fire?
Yeah, right in Angel Fire, actually.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah. Well, when you mentioned that, I've been talking to my wife about it, and she's like, oh, y'all should really get together somewhere. And I was like, oh, what about Angel Fire? And then whenever I was talking to Karen Heater, she mentioned the Sangre de Cristos, and
Right.
I was just like, oh my gosh, that'd be a perfect spot. It's pretty central for the West, at least,
Oh, yeah.
not for the East, but yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Now
So
we'll be down in that
there.
area in September.
Oh, cool. Nice. All right. Well, we'll talk about it off chat.
Totally.
Have another side chat about it. Yeah,
Be
for
great.
sure.
Bring the crew
Yeah.
by.
Yeah, but it's just like talking about like all these fireside chats and stuff. Just it's phenomenal to connect, and like a big part of it is like on Twitter having for me, and I talked about this with another guest, is like for us, it's like a pretty safe space. A lot of people talk about all the garbage that's on it on social media, and that's absolutely true. The nice thing for me is I don't really see it because I surround myself with good people that is a safe space for me, and that I want to help, make that the same for other people. So that's kind of the whole mindset of these chats. And yeah, so it would be cool to have a real in-person get together where it's not necessarily people talk about missing the conferences, and this would not be a conference. This would just be like a gathering of friends and a place to connect and feel safe and welcome. So yeah, so we could, anybody else that watches this, feel free to reach out. And, I think talking about something fall into your lap, maybe this is something I can offer for other people, and so yeah, that'd be something cool.
Couldn't think of a better place than northern New Mexico for sure.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much to do, just a couple hours in any direction, or just right there, a couple minutes. So yeah. All right, cool. Well, got that off the docket there. Glad to let that fall in your lap.
Oh yeah. If we set a date, we're there. Like, well,
okay. All right, cool. Well, we'll talk dates later. Okay. Let's see. So I do have lots of fun questions for you. But is there anything, I did want to kind of ask you, like, what kind of was your drive for getting in dendro, or do you, like, what is it that you love about what you do?
So that's a great question. So I really got into dendro at University of Tennessee. I did not go to Tennessee for dendro. So there used to be a kind of a big name in dendro, Henry Racoonmeyer, who was at Tennessee. I actually went there to work with Carol Hardin on caves, or cave disturbance or stalagmites.
Okay.
And in the summer, moving there, Henry gave a talk, and kind of honestly was the first time I kind of ever was introduced to dendrochronology, and it really kind of hooked me. The thing I loved about it the most is the wide-ranging applications of dendrochronology. I kind of think that, like, if when I look back on the papers I've published or the projects I've done, they're kind of scattered all over the place with regard to the applications of dendro. Do a cabin project here and there, climate, forest structure. I kind of try to bounce around. I gotta get bored easily, and I think that dendrochronology is a fantastic discipline in that regard. Is that you can find wide-ranging applications for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, already, like, talk to, this is what's really neat is, so the first several chats, like, it wasn't about tree rings. And then here lately, talked to Kristen DeGraw, you, Adam Chank, let's see, who else? I feel bad. I know that I'm missing somebody that was just talking to about tree ring stuff. Kelsey Copes Gerbitz. And so, yeah, like boom, 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 like right in a row. And it's awesome because I get to really hear, some people that I know are doing amazing stuff in tree ring work. And if you get it, you get it. I mean, it's and anybody can get that, anybody that's really passionate about their thing, if it's birds, if it's fish, if it's herbaceous growth in the understory, if like you love it, and that's definitely true for anybody in dendrochronology. So
there's also a thing I love about it too, is it's a very open community, a very tight-knit community in that regard. I don't know if it's because of the International Tree Ring Data Bank, the ITRDB. I just put for my master's I was in like the cave and karst world. It's not the same with regard to that kind of proxy, right? With stalagmites, everyone kind of holds on to their data.
Yeah.
And it's different, right? Because it usually costs a lot of money to generate data from stalagmites for climate purposes. So maybe that's the difference. But for the dendro community, I love it. It's it's very welcoming, and
yeah, no, for sure. And and bringing up Henry Racoonmeyer, like that's one thing, just to throw as a caveat, anybody that's listening and knows, or definitely I'll put like a warning on that, but or anybody that doesn't know, he was accused and found, absolutely in the wrong for lots of things. I'll just say that for right now, because I don't know and I don't want to intrude in an area where I shouldn't put my foot in. But we'll definitely put that in the description as well, and put that up front. But I think that was from an outsider's perspective, because though I was doing dendro, was not involved in that crew or anything. And it wasn't until kind of the news broke of that that I became kind of like, oh, I don't know if this is a community that I would want to engage in, but seeing what has happened in the past, in the time since, I'm absolutely in love with this community, in the sense that from everything that I've seen, it's just said, no, we're not going to stand for this, and they're stamping it out. And I love that. It was a swift response from what I've seen. And and the people that I know and have talked to, amazing people. So I just want to say that just because his name comes up, I know that's a very sensitive topic. So yeah,
right.
So,
and I'm invariably I'm linked to him, having studied with him in his lab. But yeah, it for sure it at least is a nice example of inciting change. Much needed change is long overdue. Of course. We're still a long way to go in that regard of anti-bullying, anti-harassment in the science community. But that's the one thing I can say is at least we're making good strides.
Yeah. No, absolutely, and that's certainly what I saw. So I like that. I mean, I wouldn't be having this and talking about dendro if I didn't feel that is like an utmost importance to me, is safety. Psychological safety, everything. Well-being is key, for people to be able to enjoy what they do and be able to do the science that we love to do. So
exactly. Well, I think it opened a lot of eyes, right? I mean, we've got a code of conduct now for native, code of conduct for the Tree Ring Society now, and so I think it's there's been at least some benefits to the whole.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's move on to some questions.
Yeah.
All right. So the most difficult question first. Oh, I've got a low battery apparently. Most difficult question first is, what is your favorite tree?
Ooh, favorite tree. Cunninghamia lanceolata. It's a Chinese fir, I think.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
It's out of left field. So it's a really odd backstory, but I kept on seeing this tree in some yards around Knoxville, Tennessee when I was there, and I like absolutely was enamored with the growth form of it. It's like this is all obviously non-native. People planting their yards, landscape tree. Turned out, I finally found out it's a Chinese fir, I guess. So it's Cunninghamia lanceolata.
Wow.
It's in the cypress family.
Okay.
But a native tree to the States or where I live, I gotta go Western larch. I love larch or tamarack.
Yeah. No, they're cool trees for sure.
It's gorgeous in the fall,
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, I've never seen them. But I will one day. There's a lot of trees that I can say that about. Yeah, for sure. And Chinese fir, I'll have to look that up. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the growth rings per se. But the growth form is, I love the way it looks. It's got that tapered cypress look,
Yeah.
But the cones are really interesting.
That's cool. That's cool. All right. So what is your favorite fireside food and beverage?
Ooh. So I'll go with like a coffee, I guess. But if like an adult beverage,
Sure.
yeah, if we're having adult beverages, I'm gonna mix tequila with whatever carbonated water they're selling, like either bubbly or
Right.
Joy.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
that's my go-to adult beverage. I'm not sure if this is actually how it works, but like, you're able to hydrate yourself while also drinking alcohol,
Yeah.
so they
Right.
cancel each other out.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's why I drink coffee. It's got lots of water in it too, right?
Right, that's right.
All right. Cool. I like that. I have never had tequila with a bubbly.
It's surprisingly refreshing. It's and I usually stick with like the basic ones, like either the lime or the grapefruit or some kind of basic,
Okay.
flavor of that carbonated water.
Yeah.
It's effervescent. It's great.
Okay. Yeah. Refreshing. I like it. All right. Cool. All right. I got a new way to drink my tequila, so that's cool.
It's great.
All right. Cool. Oh, what about food? Did you say food? I don't think you said food.
I didn't say a food.
You have a food.
Hobo dinner.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sure people have different names for them. Probably ones that are a little more PC. But yeah, we called them hobo dinners growing up. Basically, they're the you make them camping, and you wrap food in aluminum foil, put it on the fire.
Yep.
Usually, it's like some kind of meat, some kind of veggies or whatever. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the other names for it are, but
I know sometimes it's unfortunate the names we get stuck with, but those colloquial, names are just like all we've got sometimes. Yeah.
right.
So you need some great minds to come up with something else, I guess. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. All right. Those who know, right? Like, you're
Right.
from Florida, from
You've had
Oklahoma, like, yeah, it's a sign of our raising sometimes.
right. And of course, like for me growing up, man, like camping was sometimes it was at Fort DeSoto, which is Disney World's campground.
Yeah.
Like paved pads, not
Yeah.
really camping, but
No. Yeah. Lots of great exchange of ideas, I'm sure, that happen at
right.
Camp DeSoto.
Right.
Yeah. All right, cool. If you could go back in time to teenage Grant, what do you think you would tell him, or what advice would you give?
Oh man. I guess it gets better. Maybe I kind of went to a nerd high school. So I went to high school as part of the International Baccalaureate program or
Okay.
school.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a school within a school. So there were I think my graduating class was like 30 people. So, we were picked on a lot, we're like, supposed to be the smart kids, and so that's kind of probably what shaped my personality the most is, dealing with that stereotype or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, but that's it gets better. It gets way better, right?
Yeah.
High school days.
Yeah, that's the same advice I would give myself, for sure. Yeah, we develop a lot of resiliency, right, when you have to go through that struggle. But it'd be nice to not have to develop resiliency that way.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, that's good. I like that. That's something, I think that's a big thing is like, trying to have that safety and provide that safety now is so that people can know that it's going to get better. So I think we're always projecting our own needs, right? So yeah, I like that. That's really good.
Right. I mean, and having it like our oldest kid is 8 years old now and he's in 3rd grade, and just the anti-bullying language and just activity is so much better than what it was when I was a kid, bullied tons.
Yeah.
It just seems like the progress is at least being made on that front.
Yeah, no, I think so for sure. Yeah, it didn't used to really be talked about, except I think at like maybe a presentation once a year or something. Now it's in the curriculum, and yeah, it's definitely better.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Do you have a favorite childhood cartoon?
Oh. Yeah, probably the classics. Like, I'm not sure, like Bugs Bunny, and
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
watching that a lot as a kid. Woody Woodpecker a lot as a kid. It's like the days of Chips. Remember Chips, the
Yeah.
show. But right before Chips came on, I think Woody Woodpecker came on.
Okay.
Troublemaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
And
let's
it
go
was in
Woody
nature
Woodpecker.
a lot too. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, cool.
Oh, yeah.
If your life was turned into a movie, do you know who you would want to play you?
Oh man. Um, let's go with Leonardo DiCaprio, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Another left field answer. Yeah.
No.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think he's great. He's efficient.
Okay. Yeah. It'd do the job, right?
Right.
All
Yeah.
right. What genre do you think the movie about you would be?
Comedy. I'm
Okay.
a
Yep.
huge goofball. Yeah, I don't take myself seriously. I mean, I take my job and take what I do very seriously, but
Yeah.
like I don't take myself seriously at all. Um, yeah, it'd have to be comedy if
All right.
be the one I'd be most interested in.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Do you have a book that you're reading right now, or a favorite book, or both?
The Big Burn.
Oh yeah.
It's been a while since I've read it.
Okay.
But yeah, I do wish I had more time to read books
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
Yeah. You read a bunch of papers that could make many books, right?
Right. That's the one thing. Yeah, pretty much read papers all, not all day, but a lot.
Yeah.
But like that's the last thing I want to do. Obviously I don't have trouble going to sleep. But if I did have trouble going to sleep, I'd read a book.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Big Burn's a great book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, yeah, I think I read it, on the move out here to Idaho, about the big fires. But,
Yeah. No, that makes sense for sure. All right. Cool. Do you have somebody who's been kind of most influential in your life, or a couple of somebodies?
yeah, probably my parents, obviously, my mom and dad. I was obviously really fortunate to, grow up middle class, in Florida with two parents, I guess, and that cared about me, and so yeah, I really appreciate all they've done for me. But my grandfather really stuck with me. My father's dad, owned a bunch of property in Florida, so I would just explore their property a lot growing up. He was an avid reader, and yeah, I think he kind of fostered some of that early learning in me, kind of growing up.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a favorite science or life quote of any kind?
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Be a life quote. It's kind of really, like, so I'm a huge Grateful Dead fan.
Okay.
Earlier before on the chat when you said like if you get it, you get it, right? Like, Grateful Dead fan, if you're a fan of Grateful, you get it. One Jerry Garcia said, kind of butchering this, not really a verbatim quote, but he said, in all of eternity, nothing will be remembered of you, so just have fun. And there's a lot to that quote.
Yeah.
But I kind of keep that in mind, trying to keep grounded, trying to, obviously I don't take myself too seriously. Like to have fun, but yeah, it just with the realization that, like, running the rat race and trying to publish 10 papers a year, like,
Yeah.
no one's going to remember me in 100 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you don't want to be a dud, right?
Right.
No.
Right.
No. Yeah. And like, from what I know, like, you certainly aren't, and that's cool. I'm glad you're living up to that quote. Yeah. Yeah. Like, who would want to watch a fireside chat if, like, everybody was like that, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay. Well, I've got one more question for you. If your older future self, and maybe this ties into your quote, if your older future self could come back in time to you where you are right now, what would you like them to be able to say to you, or what would you want to hear?
Yeah, like relax.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. No,
Yeah.
so that, I mean, we're really looking at all the negatives now in the world, like budget cuts and universities closing and stuff. Like, relax. It'll work out.
Yeah. All right, cool. I
Yeah.
like that. Those are good words, for people who are everybody's stressed out right now, right? I mean, it's hard not to be stressed out even if you are trying your best to relax. But
Right.
yeah, like we'll weather the storm, right? No matter
Right.
what's going on, like it will eventually get better. And yeah, we're all in it together. So
This too shall pass. Like nothing's permanent. We had I was actually in New Mexico. We were coring a site coming down out of San Leonardo Lakes in 2016. Okay. This is probably June or July of 2016. And my wife called and said, we have a daughter, Willow, who was diagnosed with cancer. So I drove straight home. They found a tumor on her lower spine. Underwent, so she was 6 months old at the time, got diagnosed with neuroblastoma cancer, went through 8 rounds of chemo, lost all her hair, never vomited, never cried. Like she living a healthy life. Now the tumor shrunk, so it responded to the chemo. But going through that really, I think, set kind of my put everything into perspective.
yeah,
Obviously, you got to take your work seriously, but you also got to have fun too, right? Because life's short, it's fickle.
Yeah, you got to live it. You got to live it while you got it. It gives that appreciation. Absolutely. Right. Well, I'm very sorry for that, but I'm really glad that the news was good and totally. continues to be good.
Yep. Oh yeah. She gets it scanned, and we drive up to Spokane. I guess it's every 4 or 5 months now.
Okay.
Just to make sure there's no new growth, and like she's been having those scans for 3 years, and it's been stable. And
oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, it's a fantastic story in the end. But yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad for Willow and absolutely you and Mom. That's fantastic. Yeah, cool. Those are great. I think those are great words to end on. Because like, man, we're going through shit right now, you know, and it always can get worse. But it also is going to get better. You see it through, for sure. And everybody's got struggles. We've all got struggles, but we got to live that life. Yeah.
Always try. I mean, I was raised. So that's the other weird thing about my childhood. Like we didn't have TVs when my parents cut the cable in the 80s, I guess, growing up. And so I watched movies. One of the movies I was raised on was Pollyanna. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Pollyanna. It's an old Disney movie. And the basis of the movie is to look to the good in people, right? To try to keep on that sunny side, look to the good in people. So that's how I try to operate.
Right. Yeah, no, I like it. I think it's working out for you, so that's good. Yeah. All right, man. Grant, this has been awesome. If people want to reach out to you or connect with you, what's the best way or way that you like to do that?
Right. So you can hit me up on Twitter. I'm some Dendrochronology, right? Tree cave.
Yep.
Excuse me. So at Dendrochronology, or my email gharley@uidaho. I'm probably easily findable on the internet.
Okay.
But yeah, if anyone's interested in coming to Idaho to do some tree ring related research, hit me up. Let me know.
All right, that's awesome. Yeah, cool. Hope somebody does. Yeah, somebody will. I know that if they can find you, they can find that cave, right?
That's right.
All right. Well, this has been awesome, Grant. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on and sharing everything you share. That's cool. It's good. It's good stuff to hear, and it's good stuff to share.
It's awesome, man. But hopefully do this again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Follow up fires. I absolutely love this experience. It's great, man.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I'll have you on here down the road, and Yeah, I look forward. I look forward to doing that. We'll eventually get to where I can cycle in,
Great.
more people and stuff. And yeah, it'll be really neat to get refreshers and see where things are. And it'll be completely different experience, hopefully. But yeah, hopefully we can have that retreat sometime or study or whatever it is in Angel Fire, right?
Absolutely, man. Hit me up,
Yeah.
Joe. Yeah, and again, thank you for doing what you're doing. I think this is a brilliant idea. I think it's great. All positive. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoy your presence on Twitter, and I'm just thankful to be able to chance to chat with you and meet you in person.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah. I appreciate it too. Yeah. I love what I do. So thank you. That makes me feel good. All right. Well, Grant, I guess I'll talk to you pretty soon. I'll definitely shoot you out some info. So we'll talk to you soon.
All right, Joe. Take care.
All right. You too. Bye.